False alarm on the sprinkles. I know it could put in the dehydrator. I don't know why I'm not feeling it this episode. I don't really want to use it. Because you know why? Because so far, this is a very home baker friendly project. It would be a nice change of pace to have one of these episodes actually be doable at home. Hey everyone, I'm Claire. I am in my kitchen in my apartment, and today I am remaking gourmet Pop Tarts. The idea we have for Gourmet Remakes, which I'm doing at home, is to take the recipes I've already created on Gourmet Makes and to adapt them so that I and anyone can make them in a home kitchen with minimal equipment and without, the full capabilities of the test kitchen. I have posted the recipe that I'm making today online, and the idea is that everyone at home can attempt, and it shouldn't be too much of a heavy lift. At the end of this episode, I'm going to take a look at everything you guys sent in, photos, videos of the recipes you've created, and I'm so excited to see what everyone has made at home. I need my Siggies, hold on. Okay, my Siggies yogurt. I have one every morning.
I thought you were gonna smoke a cigarette.
Some of you may have seen the episode we did last year where I made gourmet Pop Tarts, and that episode, it didn't involve so many steps and pieces of equipment that it felt out of the realm of possibility for someone to make it at home in their kitchen. I think it was one of those episodes where I achieved exactly what I wanted to, which was something that looked very similar but tasted much, much better. Okay, let's take a look. I'm trying to think if there's anything else on Gourmet Makes that I've made that I wanted to eat more than this, and I can't really think of anything. This is very much in the middle of my Venn diagram of like things I like to make, things I want to eat, things I know how to make. But I wouldn't feel bad about eating this for breakfast.
Look at that.
I know. Rhoda.
Thank
you. That's all I want.
I cannot express
this? I grab this?
how much you nailed this. I think this is the best thing you've ever done.
I think so too. One, I miss all my friends in the test kitchen. I miss Che and Emil and Rhoda and how positive they are. And two, I'm like, should I grow my hair back out? That was maybe fun having long hair. Or maybe I missed that. What I liked about the homemade version was it was not too sweet. It had really clean, delicious flavors, a good balance of acid from the strawberries plus sweet. I love that the pastry stayed very pale and did not take on too much color. I'm really just trying to nail that flavor that I did the first time. I already tasted this. I already measured it. I already did all these things. Just roll back to that footage. Right at the end there's like a little bit of strawberry flavor, but mostly it's shockingly flavorless, I have to say. The strawberry filling doesn't taste like strawberries, and the pastry, the whole point of pastry is it's buttery and delicious, and this has none of that. Pastry should be buttery. The filling should taste like strawberry. I concur with myself in that original episode. Now it is time for my new favorite part of Gourmet Remakes, reading the ingredients from my original Pop Tart recipe. Fresh strawberries, frozen strawberries, flour, butter, sugar, eggs, lemon juice, lemon zest, cornstarch, vanilla bean, salt, food coloring. That sounds about right. That's a good list. For the most part, these are all very common pantry ingredients. We don't have to do too much modifying to make this a very approachable home cook recipe. I love a baking project. I think especially at a time like this, I think that this process, very unlike regular Gourmet Makes, is gonna be stress relieving. So I'm very excited to make these. It's just a fun project, and they're gonna look so cute. I'm going to start by making the dough because that needs to chill. I remember from the original episode, the first version of dough I made came out too flaky.
Look at that jam.
Yeah, it holds up well.
You did too good a job with the pastry though.
I know.
You need to do a shittier job.
I'm gonna try again tomorrow with some crucial adjustments.
Okay.
I'm gonna work on the dough first, and I'm gonna do everything in the food processor, which will help me work the butter in much finer so I get a more even texture. The problem is, I broke the bowl of my food processor recently, and I just ordered a new one yesterday, so I'm gonna have to do this part by hand. But that's very real because not everyone has a food processor at home. One advantage of that is I can just make the full quantity all together in a big bowl. So I have the dough recipe here, and I'm gonna put it all together in a bowl. Well, we'll leave them right there. 2.5 cups all-purpose flour, 4 teaspoons sugar, 1 teaspoon kosher salt. I'm gonna prepare my ice water I use to bring the dough together. And now I need my butter. I think I'm going to use my box grater to work the butter into fine, uniform pieces. If you don't have a box grater, I would cut the butter into 1/2-inch pieces. And now I'm really just going in with my fingers and trying to break the butter down further. So that's what we're going for. I'm gonna use 1/3 cup of water because that's about the equivalent of what I used in the original. It's already starting to clump together. So this dough looks great. It came together very easily. It's not sticky. Unlike pie dough, there aren't big streaks of butter like suspended throughout the dough. It's just more uniform. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up and put it in the fridge because this needs to chill. Where the hell am I gonna put it? Oh, my kimchi is leaking. Ugh. While we're waiting for the dough to chill, I'm going to take a look back at the original episode at the section where I make the filling to remind myself, what did I even do? I should wear those earrings again. Jam is very simple. It's just sugar, fruit. I'll add a little bit of lemon juice for acidity. My goal is really just to cook down the strawberries to the point where it thickens enough naturally on its own. And I'm just gonna stir it in the ice to cool it down quickly. If I were gonna attempt this at home, I would just use like a good strawberry jam. Oops. Exactly. Why aren't I using a good quality strawberry jam if I were making this at home? Okay, so the point I made in the original episode still stands, which is you could definitely just use a nice quality strawberry jam instead of having to make the filling. There's no problem with that at all. But I will make a strawberry filling on the stove, but instead of using half frozen, half fresh strawberries, I'm using all frozen because it just feels like a more accessible any time of year shortcut. I do almost feel bad about cooking these. Yeah. Like these are so special. Yeah. I'm wondering if I should supplement with like frozen even.
Are you just trying to save the strawberries so you can eat them?
Yeah. I'm just trying to save the strawberries so we can have them after lunch. Yeah, good call. I want Harry's berries. Also, I really do miss my long hair. It like looked really full and shiny then. All right, I'm gonna make the filling. Ooh, that's a knife, careful. Where did I even put the berries? Oh no, not up there. Ah! I see raspberries and mango, blackberries and blueberries, and every goddamn frozen fruit. Hold on, I need a break before I can go back in. You guys, I have one Choco Taco left.
What's going on right now?
I can't find them. Hold on. Jesus. Found them. Here. How long did that take? Let's get started. So I'm gonna cook these from frozen. I'll add a little water to get everything going. Cook them until most of the water has been evaporated, and the added sugar will help the mixture set when it's cooled. If you don't have a hand blender, you could just basically use a potato masher or even the back of a spoon. Basically, I don't feel like I need to get this perfectly smooth, and I'm certainly not gonna strain it. But simmer, cook, stirring, and skimming foam. I'm not really skimming foam, guys. I did that in the original episode. I'm not really skimming foam, because who cares? This has been cooking down, and sorry about the steam. It's thick enough where when I drag the spoon, I see a little strip of the bottom of the pot. Because I want to avoid scorching, I'm going to get it onto this prepared sheet tray with my Silpat. This really does look so much like tomato sauce right now. So into the oven, it's at 250, and every 10 minutes, I'll stir with a spatula. This thickened to a very solid paste. Well, tasting it. I really like the sweetness. I think it has good tartness also, so maybe I don't really want to add lemon juice. I think I'm just going to do the zest to brighten it up. I think maybe I'll add a little bit of vanilla extract also, loosen it up a tiny bit, and then I'll set this aside. And now what I want to do is make the sprinkles before I start to assemble anything, because the sprinkles need some time to really dry. In the original Pop Tarts episode in the test kitchen, I made those tiny little flecks of sprinkles that are in the top of the icing on the Pop Tarts by hand. And I really like that process, and it seemed to go over really well.
Should not overlook the sprinkles, which
Definitely not.
are weirdly really good. Like, they're very crunchy.
And they're brighter.
It was so much
You
fun.
can open your own bougie Pop-Tart kiosk.
Perfect. I'm gonna do these sprinkles again in like my own life. A little bit of air in it. Really? So no, I've not made sprinkles since this episode. But here we are. In the test kitchen, I used these very concentrated, potent gel food coloring. I have Whole Foods plant-based food coloring, which is quite a bit less bright, but in fact, that kind of works out for the kind of pastel shades of the sprinkles on Pop Tarts. I have confectioner sugar right here. I'm gonna grab my egg white. It's basically a mixture of egg white and powdered sugar. Often there's a little bit of lemon added. Okay, so this is getting there. It's become really glossy and smooth, almost thick enough to hold peak more that it just ribbons. So now I'm gonna divide it up and add my food coloring. Oh my God, this one is like raspberry. How is this red, you guys? Look at that. Isn't that weird? It's like some weird lavender. I don't know what to do. It doesn't look that good. You know, I'm kind of lying to you guys. I do have McCormick food coloring. All right, sometimes you need a little Red Lake whatever, you know? There we go. I don't know what this color is. I'm just trying to get it in a really thin, even layer. So here is that first, I'm making a color Mark Rothko painting. Move on to the next. I have yellow, orange, a red, and green to do. I think the colors look great. Definitely closer, I think, to the actual colors of the Pop Tart sprinkles. On the original episode, I waited until later in the process to make the sprinkles, and then I spread it a bit thickly, and they took a very long time to dry. Just to avoid incorporating another step or piece of equipment, I'll just let them sit out at room temp, but in front of a fan, not like the industrial fan from the test kitchen either. Here's my dough. It has been chilling for several hours, I would say maybe 3. You can see it went in very soft and it's quite solid right now. I'm a little impatient, so I'm not really fully waiting for this to temper. So I'm rolling out this slab pretty thinly. So I'm going to roll this onto my lined baking sheet and get it in the fridge while I roll out the second slab. But where am I gonna put it is the question. So here is my second slab of dough. I just wanna make sure that it's pretty equal in size. This will be in the fridge until I had a chance to figure out best method for forming them that doesn't involve a Silpat stencil, because that just feels a little excessive. And so now I'm gonna swap out for the bottom layer and I'm gonna start applying that filling using a little template that I made. And the idea is to like fill this window. Looks pretty good. It was very effective to have that stencil for very neatly applying the filling, but instead of cutting out individual rectangles, I think I'm going to form them all in a slab, very similar to how I made ravioli. Apply the filling to the slab of dough before I cut out the rectangles. Maybe I'll just make the lines of the rectangles, and it's just a more efficient way to form them. So I actually think the first step would be probably just drawing lines onto the slab of pastry so that I know roughly where my rectangles will be, and then applying the filling inside of those rectangles, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it sounds like a really bold strategy.
It's bold. I'm being bold. Okay, so I'm gonna call it 4.5 by 3 1/4. Throwing this out, don't tell anyone. So one thing I have to do is dock one slab of pastry, meaning prick it all over and make holes in it. I'm just gonna use a fork, and I'm just gonna be docking it all over. Okay, put it back in the fridge. So I'm actually just using the ruler as a straight edge, and I'm just drawing guides, trying to make them really square. So here you can see the grid. So this thing started out about 14 by 10, and I trimmed it to probably like 13 by 9. Okay, this is feeling good. It's not like ultra cold, but it's certainly workable. And I'm going to spread the filling by hand with my offset spatula, but I do want it to be even and pretty accurate, so I'm going to make smaller rectangles inside of each of the rectangles that I've drawn on my pastry so I know where to spread the filling. I think that this technique is a good middle ground between something really precise, but also not like intolerably annoying. You can see my 2 sets of guides. The main thing here is not to get the filling along those borders between the rectangles, because that will interfere with the egg wash that I'm going to brush onto the dough to help the layers seal together. What I like about this method is I can see the rectangles of filling, and I'm going to press down in between all of those rectangles of filling to seal the pastry together. You could see where I've made those impressions and sealed the layers of pastry together in between all of those rectangles of filling. And now into the fridge, because this really should get thoroughly cold before I cut out the Pop Tarts. Take 14. Should I just listen back? Oh my God, Chris!
Sorry, I don't need to be here. I can go away for a little while.
Wait, no, are you kidding?
I have the kids making a racket behind me. I need to go in the other room. Everything sucks.
Oh my God.
There's just not a lot of magic happening today. I hope you're having a better day than I am.
I think I'm like weirdly more efficient at home than I am in the test kitchen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there's like fewer distractions, I think. There's just like the cats and stuff. I'll show you what I've made so far.
Oh, cool.
So this is...
Ooh, that looks glorious. Your jam packages look so sharp.
Just as good. Okay, so my next step is I'm going to use the bench scraper, cut them out, and then put them, I have my Silpat, my other baking sheet over there, and then we bake. And then, so I have the sprinkles drying in the bedroom by my fan.
In your bedroom with the fan?
With my fan, yeah. Chris, this is easier than sorting your own sprinkles. But so this is...
Oh my God.
So that's the fan.
So it's one big panel. It's like one monolithic block.
I chop them up and then like sift them. Yeah, because the sprinkles they're not like rods. They're like little specks.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Claire, this is still so epic.
Oh, thanks, Chris.
It's so cool to see you under control, even in these times.
Thanks, Chris. I mean, I'm looking forward to feeling crazy again when we're back in the test kitchen, but yeah, good to catch up.
I'll check in on you tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, you too. See you tomorrow. I really miss Chris. I stuck the pastry back in the fridge briefly, and now I'm actually going to cut out and pinch the pastry together and seal it even further. Oh, Felix, no. No, Kitty, no. No! Off the counter! Ugh, get off. Terrible timing. See, he just looks at the thing. I'm transferring them to this baking sheet so I can space them out before I bake them. There's all 9 of them on one sheet. Straight into the oven. They're smelling pretty buttery toasty, so I think that means they're done. Let me pull them. Oh my God, you guys, they look so good. The pastry, I'm very happy to see. It puffed very nicely, but it didn't get crazy flakage and separation, and it stayed really nice and pale. Ow, hot. Beautiful, like super, super light golden color around the edges, but really overall pale uniform. I think for like a result at home, this is a very, very nice, finished, neat result. So tomorrow morning, we're gonna come back, do the icing, put on the sprinkles, let them set, and taste, and then we'll be done.
And what is that noise?
It's 7 p.m. and it's nice. It makes me feel good to hear that noise. Sounds? Noise? Whatever. Here we are in day 2 of Gourmet Makes at Home. I just want to point out, you guys, that's Maya. That's not Felix, and I do feel like she was fat shamed after the last video. She's robust and plump, and we love her. Yesterday was so fun, and the Pop Tarts turned out so well at home. I feel like I made them more efficiently than I did in the test kitchen, which makes me wonder, like, what am I even doing in the test kitchen when I'm shooting Gourmet Makes? I have these really dry pieces of icing to make it into sprinkles. The edges curled up a little bit and basically peeled themselves off of the parchment, so I didn't even have to be careful about that. They detached very easily. I don't know if you could hear that little snap. I'll put it near the mic, but they're really, really crisp and brittle. What I did in the test kitchen was I individually chopped each color and then mixed them together. I don't see any reason to actually have to do that. I'm breaking the pieces into smaller bits, and I want to just get more or less equal amounts of each color. Rather than chopping them, it would be more efficient to use the rolling pin to bust them up into tiny pieces. I mean, these look great. I do want to sift it to get rid of some of those dusty bits. I actually think that this was too fine. Let me get a finer one. How many strainers do I have in my kitchen? A lot. This one might be too fine. Oh, but I have the chinois. I have this tea steeper. Maybe this? Oh, I have a tamis. Oh yeah, perfect. I have a lot of strainers. I made homemade sprinkles for the Pop Tarts because I like it and I think it's fun. But go ahead and use any sprinkles you already have, but just chop them up or leave them as is. It really doesn't matter. So here are my sprinkles. And this is probably a tablespoon. And I think that that's probably enough. Here are the Pop Tarts I baked yesterday. I let them cool completely. I put them on this wire rack. So now the last thing that I want to do is apply the white icing to the surface of the Pop Tarts. But first, I'm going to look back at what I did in the original episode. Roll the footage. Yeah, so I'm just gonna make a rectangular border that's called edging with the royal icing. It's like a barrier that's gonna keep the icing from spilling out, and then I'll go back and fill it in, and that's called flooding. All right, so the first one looks phenomenal. I've seriously never been so proud of anything in my life. I have to go take a photo. I think that what I could do is make a slightly larger area of the Pop Tart frosted. And I think I could also thin out some of that icing that I'm gonna use to flood. That would just make a smoother surface. I think that I added additional cornstarch to the mixture in the original episode because I somehow thought that the additional cornstarch would prevent the icing from like burning or melting somehow in the toaster oven. I'm not sure if that's totally necessary, so why don't I just skip it? Because who needs another ingredient, right? Also, I don't need to use a vanilla bean. I'll just use extract. Okay, getting on top. I do have a little squeeze of lemon to cut through the sweetness. That can't be a bad idea. I remember adding cornstarch to this royal icing. Confectioner's sugar already has a little bit of cornstarch in it, and we're not, you know, I'm not applying the same set of criteria to the at-home version.
You did cornstarch in all of them.
Oh, I did cornstarch in all of them?
Pink frosting now flows onto a revolving belt. They've added a bit of starch to the icing. And it's this starch that allows the icing to harden and set, so it won't melt and drip into the toaster.
Okay, so that was probably the most crucial part of this video, is the revelation that it's added starch in the icing that means that when it sets, it doesn't remelt or burn in the toaster. So that's interesting to think about. Yeah, I like how it's like, oh, that part's not important. And then in the video, I'm like, here's the most important part that I've learned. Whatever. Stirring that to loosen, and I really don't need a lot in here because I'm making such a fine line. Now I'm just applying even pressure to the bag. You can touch it just to anchor the line of icing and then start to move. Once I have these clean borders and they set, I can fill the centers with icing and they'll like anchor to the edge. It's helpful to have like a toothpick or a paring knife to help you drag and work the icing. Sprinkle just like a little coating of these guys. And there it is. My first one done. Looks great. I think it looks just as good as the ones from the test kitchen. All right, so now I'm gonna just repeat that whole process with the remaining Pop Tarts. Maybe I should just use my finger for this because it's way faster. I'm happier with the consistency of this icing. I think I was able to spread it quickly and it settles into a beautiful glassy finish. And I also like how the sprinkles settle just the right amount into the frosting. They look wonderful. All right, we've come pretty much to the end of the road on this project. All frosted, they've been besprinkled. I think they look great. And I think they also look a lot more uniform now that they've all been iced. I can see that in some places they actually need a little more time to fully dry, so I would leave these out for several hours. However, the first one that I frosted with that slightly thicker royal icing, that one looks really set. Here it is. You guys, I'm sweating. It's really hot in here. The colors of the sprinkles, I think, are even closer than they were the last time. So you have those nice pastel bits. My pastry looks like real pastry. Their pastry looks a little bit like cardboard. So, but I knew that was gonna happen. And I just think that means it's gonna taste way better. I'm very excited to bite into it and try it. Oh my God, Rhoda?
Hi.
Hi, Rhoda.
Oh, look at your sprinkles.
Yeah, the sprinkles were fun. I think I did the color a little bit better this time.
Well, I wish I could try one.
I know, I wish you could try one too. What am I gonna do with these?
I don't know. You can drop them off at my house for my kids.
I know. I wish you were nearer. Sorry, Rhoda. I'm baking bread. My oven's on 500. I am dripping sweat. I'm gonna try them. I haven't tasted it yet.
They look amazing.
Dan, can I taste them? They're really good. I think the pastry could be baked a little longer. Toasting could help with that. I think it's also just a little bit that the pastry sat, but I baked them really at a low temp at 300, so they wouldn't take on a lot of color. So they could really go a little bit longer, but overall it's so good.
Yay!
What do you think? You make these with the kids?
It might be a little past my bandwidth right now, but
I understand.
I'm glad you got to make them again.
Yeah, me too. It's a good opportunity to be able to go back and learn from the trials of the first episode, you know?
Yay!
Turns out I like this show. Thanks for checking in on my progress.
Nice seeing you.
All right, Rhoda. Talk to you soon. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Oh! You guys, I just whacked one of them with my fan. Look what just happened. Oh no. Oh no, the royal icing just fell on my couch. Should I take a bite out of it and then it's like a cute one with the bite missing? Let's do that. All right, I'm gonna pop one in the toaster. Let's just try it and see. And it will not determine success or failure. Mode, toast, start.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
Your timing is perfect. So I just toasted one.
I've literally got the most delightful coffee. If I had a Pop Tart right now, I would die of joy.
Should I pretend to feed you one in the camera?
Ah.
Okay, I'm taking it out of the toaster. Something happened. It got a little, oh, it's hot. It got a little toasted on the surface. Can you see it?
Yeah, oh, for sure.
You know what happened is I basically made toasted meringue. Like it puffed like meringue, like it puffed up.
There's like a depth to it. That's so fascinating.
The color on top is interesting, but it's also like gives it a toasted marshmallow kind of thing. So like that is going to taste really good.
Oh, Claire, that looks so good.
Yeah, it turned out really nice. I mean, toasted marshmallow notwithstanding, you know?
Well, Claire, it seems like like things are alarmingly under control there. I feel like you are definitely ready for like a kid, maybe a kitten, just something a little bit chaotic because like it's going a little too smoothly. So
I'm still creating my own chaos, so don't worry. That was fun. I loved checking in with Chris and Rhoda, 2 Gourmet Makes standbys, and people that give me a lot of validation, which is not the only reason why I like them, but it is one of the reasons. What makes this a great project for making at home is that there are so many different routes you could take to an end result depending on how much time and effort you want to spend. And that, I think, is sort of the ultimate test of a good recipe. So obviously we're giving you some time to make these at home. So IRL, it'll be about a week. But in this video, it'll be in like a few seconds. I'm going to come back and take a look at everything you guys have sent in. When we started Gourmet Remakes and we put the call out for people to make the recipe, I think we were expecting a response of maybe in the dozens, and there were almost 900. It's just so fun to take a look, see how creative everyone got. It was like a really... Did you guys hear that sneeze from the basement? That was my dad's. You guys could hear that? Anyway, obviously the response was overwhelming, but I just want everyone to be assured that our producers went through every single video and watched them all, and we're so grateful for the response, and we hope that you had fun making it. From that huge bank of 900 videos, our producers went through and selected some really fun and creative takes, so I haven't really gotten a chance to look at any of them, so I'm very excited to take a look at many of the Pop Tarts you guys made at home. All right.
Take 47. My name is Florencia. That's my guy filming this video. And this is how we made Claire Safit's Gourmet Pop Tarts.
Oh my God.
So last night I made the sprinkles and let them dry in the oven overnight. And I chopped them. For the dough, I tried to grate the butter, but in Spain it's too hot right now, so I went on and cubed it. For the filling, my neighbor brought me some strawberries from the market. I pureed them, and I cooked them thoroughly on the stove, and it set very well.
First of all, the production quality of this video is incredible. Her accent is delightful. The Pop Tarts look amazing. They look better than mine. They look more like the ones I did in the test kitchen. It's so good.
So they don't sell Pop Tarts in Spain, so I have nothing to compare them to, but I had them once before, and honestly, I don't remember them being this good.
I also like how she basically just really recreated the original Gourmet Makes version, not even the home version. She like poked all the holes and had the little dowel and formed them individually, so just incredible work. It looks so good.
I changed it up a little bit, went with wild berry, which was my favorite when I was a kid, so I used equal parts strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries for the filling, and changed the frosting up a bit, used purple and lime green. Pretty proud of myself on these, actually.
Excellent proportions, truly. Perfect amount of filling and perfect thickness of pastry. I love the creative license with the color of the icing and the flavors. That's exactly the idea, is people could customize it for whatever they want to make. It's like a weird phenomenon of having everything happen on Zoom. I feel like I should be able to talk to these people and that they should be able to hear me. You know what I mean? Because they're just like on my screen.
Hi, I'm Gemma. I'm in my home kitchen and today I'm making gourmet Pop Tarts. Hi, Claire. I just saw you on TV. I don't know if you're real, but I'm gonna send a picture of a Pop-Tart when I'm done. I love you with my whole heart. Bye-bye. Bye, Claire.
Oh my God. I'm real. First of all, her Pop-Tarts look amazing. Second of all, could she be any cuter? It's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Bon appetit.
Honestly, they turned out really well. My biggest problem was that I suck at measuring, so they're like many different sizes, but they're really cute, even though I used pre-made sprinkles instead of making my own.
It looks so good.
I'm a disappointment. I'm sorry, Claire.
Oh my God. First of all, never apologize. Her pastry looks flaky and delicious. It looks fully cooked. No shame in store-bought sprinkles. It looks so good. Never apologize. You did great.
So it was a bit of a rocky start because I had to convert all of the measurements and then I realized that I didn't have enough butter and it was a holiday, so all the shops were closed, but the gas station was open. And then I almost burnt my filling because I forgot to convert the temperature of the oven. It was fine. I saved it. So the most stressful part for me was the assembly because I really wanted them to look nice and neat, but I was also afraid to overwork the pastry and for the butter to melt. But I think they look quite pretty and I'm very proud of them. They're very rectangular.
First of all, I really like her kitchen tile. It's really cute. This person did so much extra legwork. I love that time lapse of the pastry baking, which is like incredible. Why don't we do this? You guys, we're getting some real good ideas on things we can do.
I love the filling. The irony is that I've never had a real Pop-Tart. Bon appetit.
I'm so impressed at the level of care that people took to make these.
I didn't have any food coloring and I didn't want to go out just to get them, so I used what I had in the kitchen, which was a lot of turmeric, chili powder, and fresh green juice from spinach and kale.
Oh my God.
They turned out great. Here's the inside. I'm really happy with the overall result.
I love the colors that she got. They're so like pastel and kind of and pretty.
Half a day, my name is Romain and I made gourmet Pop Tarts. The hardest part of the process had to be the filling for the Pop Tart. I live on an island where we don't have easy access to certain fruits, with strawberry being one of them. And I took frozen mangoes and fresh mangoes and I made a filling.
Oh my God, mango Pop-Tarts sounds so good. You know, I didn't really give much thought to where people outside of the United States would be able to source ingredients, and frozen strawberries are obviously very common here, but not common in many other places. So I love the kind of resourcefulness of using whatever is available wherever people are. So, and also like mango sounds delicious. They look really good.
Okay, so we've made the Pop Tarts and they look pretty good. And so we're gonna see how one survives in the toaster.
Oh God, I'm so nervous. Oh God.
Let's see what happened. All right, so, some of the sprinkles got a little bit, ow, that's hot. The icing didn't melt or anything. It actually got really kind of hard, sort of soft.
Ooh. A+, flying colors.
Hi, my name is Emil. I'm in my home kitchen in Copenhagen, Denmark, and today I've made gourmet Pop Tarts. Overall, I'm really pleased with the result. I think they have super nice flaky layers and they taste very, very delicious. Also, I really enjoyed making the sprinkles on the top.
Are those mine? They look identical. They look so good. This makes me feel really good, but also really bad because it's just like, aren't I supposed to be the professional? And these people are like doing better than I am.
This was my first time working with pastry dough, and that was definitely my biggest challenge. It requires a lot of patience and chilling time in the refrigerator in order to be able to work with it. Ultimately, I am very excited and proud of my final product. It is flaky, buttery, sweet, and tart all at the same time.
I'm very impressed that for her first time working with pastry, this is the result, because you can see it in that video, in that shot. Like beautiful, flaky texture, really excellent job rolling it out and shaping them, which is not easy. Seriously.
Claire, some of mine got really puffy. What did I do wrong?
It's not that you did anything wrong. It's actually that you did too many things right, because it just means that your pastry was like very well made. I had to dial down the flakiness for Pop Tarts because I didn't want something so puffed. But if you got a puffed result, it just means that you're like too good at making pastry. So that's not a bad result at all.
For anyone making these at home too, this is a 2-day recipe. Do not think you can do this in 1 day. You will cry. It sounded really intense.
I've been there before.
What do you think, bud? I think he likes them.
I love the dog. Getting the dog involved.
Hi, my name is Caroline Holmberg. I'm 13 years old, and today I made gourmet Pop Tarts. A couple snacks that I had were that I spread out my sprinkles too thick so they didn't dry well. So I just decided to use the nonpareils that we had in the house. Also, I ran out of dough, so I decided to make little mini Pop Tarts by just folding over one side. And then I took a little bit of filling out, but those turned out really well.
I just want to say at 13, I would have nowhere near the capabilities to have one like pivoted to all of those workarounds and solves if I were Caroline, and her result looks great and she could not be more charming or adorable, basically. My cheeks are a little sore from smiling. It is seriously one of the most heartwarming experiences I've ever had to be able to see all of these viewers from all over, all different ages, make the recipe and have such great results. It really is so heartwarming and so fun, and I only want to do gourmet remakes now. I know that probably not everyone got such uniform or like aesthetically pleasing results, but the great thing about baking is 9 times out of 10. Mom, my mom's doing her own Zoom meeting in the other room with the door open. Mom. Mom. They're waiting for Debbie. For everyone that had a great time making Pop Tarts, I have great news. We have more episodes coming out, so I hope everyone is ready for some more kitchen projects. Even if you didn't see your video, I hope you at least enjoyed making and eating them. I loved seeing them all, so thanks a lot, and more to come.
Bon appetit. Bon appetit, Chris Morocco. Bon appetit, Gabby. Bon appetit, Claire. Bon appetit, Molly. Bon appetit, Sola. Bye-bye.